breaking news today.
Please subscribe and then check notification box to get all breaking news alerts.
Says talks with Trump like negotiating with Jell, Sarah ruins him. White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders addressed reporters on Monday afternoon for the first time since Democrats shut down the government at midnight on Friday. When one journalist asked her about a remark made by Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, who likened talks with President Donald Trump to negotiating with Jell, Sarah completely ruined the smug senator with her brutal response. After Democrats shut down the government on Friday night, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer placed the blame squarely on President Donald Trump's shoulders, saying, "He's turned blowing up bipartisan agreements into an art form." Schumer added, "Negotiating with President Trump is like negotiating with Jell." During the hours leading up to the government shutdown, President Donald Trump invited Senate Minority Leader Charles Schumer, DNY, to the White House to negotiate the outline of a deal, which both sides believed was in reach. After several more conversations during the day, the deal fell apart and the Senate failed to pass a measure to keep the government funded. During the meeting, in exchange for strong, deferred action for childhood arrivals, protections, I reluctantly put the border wall on the table for the discussion, Schumer said from the Senate floor. Even that was not enough to entice the president to finish the deal. Source, ABC News. On Monday, as White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders took a victory lap in celebration of the Senate's vote to reopen the federal government after the three-day shutdown, one reporter asked her about the remarks Senator Schumer had made over the weekend. As usual, she was poised and ready to shut him down. Sarah Sanders took to the White House podium Monday afternoon to take a victory lap after Democrats voted to reopen the federal government. Sanders claimed that Democrats had been defeated by the president after capitulating to GOP terms after the three-day shutdown. At one point in the heated negotiations, Senate Democratic leader Charles Schumer said negotiating with Trump is like negotiating with Jell. Source, The Daily Caller. Hoping to give you the chance to respond to the criticism that Chuck Schumer lobbed her over the weekend, a reporter said, addressing Sanders on Monday. In addition to saying that, negotiating with Trump is like negotiating with Jell, today the senator said that the great deal-maker sat on the sidelines. Was it a concerted effort on the president's part not to reach out to him this weekend? What the president did clearly worked, Trump's spokeswoman responded bluntly. The vote just came in 81-18. I would say that those numbers are much more in the president's favor than in Senator Schumer's favor. I'm not sure what changed for him and what he gained other than maybe Nancy Pelosi taking a bunch of Democratic members out for dinner to celebrate their shutdown. I'm not sure what other positive things came out of this weekend for Democrats, she added. Sarah Sanders was referring to the horrifically insensitive move by House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi, who invited all 192 Democrats in the House of Representatives out to dinner on Saturday night to celebrate the fact that they had shut the government down, throwing hard-working American families by the wayside in the interest of illegal aliens. The little get-together was reportedly held at a fancy Italian restaurant in Washington, D.C., where plates go for between $50 and $75 per meal. While liberal lawmakers stuffed themselves on fine-cut steaks, military families were rifling through their cupboards, trying to scrounge up whatever canned goods they could find to get them by until they got paid. Classy move, Nancy. The government shutdown ended in disaster for the Democrats, who accomplished nothing more than a healthy amount of bad PR with midterm elections quickly approaching. They caved on DACA, so what was the point? This will only help to make this year's elections as well as 2020 a slam dunk for the GOP.